What's going on, guys? CrustyKs here from the Gold Boys Network. We're back. We're ready to talk about college basketball. We got a pretty short Thursday slate here. We're going to talk about 4 games. Probably the 4 that I think have the most eyes on them. Skip a lot of the mid-major stuff because, honestly, I don't like watching it. And truthfully, I've just found there to be a lot of variance in these mid-major games and a lot more than just there is in college basketball in general. So, prefer to not bet on them, prefer not talk about them. So, we're going to keep it that way. First one here, Ohio State traveling to Penn State. Penn State has been a covering machine. They have not been winning, though. Ohio State off a monster win, off a back-to-back win, is actually a big win against Purdue on the road. And then they just absolutely annihilated, I believe it was Iowa on their home floor. So now they go on the road here to Penn State. And for me here, I like Penn State. My line right now is sitting at minus 140. For me, that's a playable price. If you want to lay the 2, I think that's okay as well. Looks like 2.5 some spots. Obviously, if you're laying minus 2, you'd be okay laying minus 2.5 because you're not playing for a push. But if you want to take the money line minus 140, I'm good with that. I like this Penn State team. I like Ace Baldwin a lot. Obviously, it's tough with no Puff Johnson, but they have other guys. Kern's been really good. Hicks is playing, even though he's hurt. So you look at this Penn State team, what they do well. They force a lot of turnovers, force a lot of mistakes. And that's what you want against Ohio State. Ohio State so far in conference play has been really bad with turnovers, truthfully. I believe turnover percentage is just below 20%. So not very good. And now you're going to go on the road to a tough place to play. Like I said, Penn State likes to force a lot of mistakes. I would not be surprised if we see a big day out of Ace Baldwin here as he looks to get his team back in the win column. And a lot of times when he forces those steals, he's getting easy layups or he's getting fouled, shooting free throws. He's an excellent free throw shooter. So I think Ace Baldwin points probably another good look here as well. But I will take Penn State on the money line at a minus 140. Next one, we'll talk about Illinois traveling to Nebraska. Illinois is really a pretty short favorite here on the road at 2.5. For me in this one, so Avisik's going to be out once again. He's been out for, I want to say 3 games now, if I'm not mistaken. It's a big loss because they're not very deep in their front court. I do like Illinois here. But this line to me just seemed kind of short. And I guess I get it. Illinois is on the road. It's tough to win on the road, the Big Ten. I'm going to lean Nebraska plus the 2.5. As much as I want to back Illinois, I look at this and I look at Nebraska, who's lost 6 straight. And this spread, in my opinion, just with how these teams have looked, should be closer to 5, maybe even 6. And so seeing it at a single possession, maybe it's fake sharp. I don't know. I'm going to pay to find out. Nebraska plus 2.5. It is a nasty, nasty play, but I think it has to be done. I think it's the right side here. Like I said, anybody who watches college basketball, anybody who tries to handicap college basketball, this spread just seems grossly short. So Nebraska plus 2.5. It's a gross play. Analytically, it's probably not going to make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but it's one of those ones where looking at the line, I have to play it. I have to get involved. I'll pay to find out. Nebraska plus 2.5. The next one here, this one actually, I don't know if a lot of people actually want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. Memphis taking on Tulane. Memphis coming off probably one of their best wins of the season, probably one of their most complete games against UAB. This is a team incredibly frustrating to handicap, incredibly frustrating to bet on, because you truly never know what you're going to get with a Penny Hardaway Memphis team. They're good. I think they're really good. They got a lot of scores. And this is another one, a bit of a head scratcher for me. You look at Tulane. Tulane's been pretty bad this season. In conference play, they've looked a bit better. I will say that. Defending the 3 pretty well. A lot of their issue comes with fouling. Obviously, if you're fouling against a Memphis team with PJ Haggerty, you're probably going to find yourself in trouble. So what I was looking at in this one, you get Memphis coming into this game, like I said, off of their best shooting performance of the season. So I don't really want to back them per se. What I was looking at here, though, I like Tulane's team total. It's not up yet. I assume it's going to be around the around 70, 70.5, 71.5, something in that range. That's where I'd go here. So we look at Tulane. They're a team that plays around a moderate tempo. But what I've noticed when they play faster teams, they have a tendency to play up to that tempo, play up to that pace. So I think against Memphis, who does like to push the pace here a bit, I think we see Tulane pick it up a bit on their home floor. And this is a number that they've actually hit, and I believe like 4 of the last 5 games. If it's around, like they said, like 70.5, 71.5 number I'm expecting. But I just think here it's a spot where maybe Memphis doesn't really care. That's really like the biggest thing I've noticed with this team is I just think they don't get up for some of these games on the road, if I'm being completely honest. And if you look at their schedule, they have Tulane on the road, then they have Rice on the road. I wouldn't be surprised if in typical Penny fashion, he drops one of these games. I don't know which one it would be, truthfully. To me, it would be this one, personally. I think Tulane's better than Rice. I think they would have a better shot at beating Memphis than Rice would. But I will not be surprised one bit if he drops one of these games. Regardless, I like Tulane to score. Like I said, this just feels one of those spots where Memphis comes out a bit lazy. So I will take Tulane's team total here. The last one we're going to talk about, Oregon traveling UCLA. UCLA laying 3.5 points at home. This UCLA team, maybe they figured it out. They look pretty good. I believe they've won 3 straight, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull that up real fast so I'm not giving you guys bad info. They have won 3 straight. Apparently Cronin's words finally stuck after what seemed like they didn't because the team played worse after he reamed them. He reamed them again, and they won 4 straight. Sorry, my apologies. And they've been rolling. This team forced a lot of mistakes. I do believe that Oregon is fake good. I'm definitely one of the non-Oregon believers. Or non-believers of Oregon, sorry. So the interesting thing for me here, when these teams played earlier in the season, UCLA won on the road at Oregon as a 3.5 point dog. They're at home now, spreads at 3.5, so the line makes sense. Typically in college basketball, 5 to 6 points, like the home away swing. So I don't really have any qualms with the line per se. I just look at this game, and I look at the way UCLA is playing right now. I look at Oregon, who, like I said, I just don't believe is that good. And I'm going to lay the 3.5 with UCLA. I'm going to back them to keep rolling. It's a spot where I think a lot of people are going to look to back Oregon to bounce back off of a bad loss to Minnesota. But I'm a firm believer in the fact that you don't bounce back on the road. So even though they're back on the West Coast, they're obviously not playing on their home floor. I think UCLA keeps rolling. And I think UCLA gets another one here. This team, like I said, has looked light years better than it looked earlier in the season. And I think we see that continue. They're a bit of a frustrating offense to back, truthfully. I'm not going to sit here and say they aren't. But on their home floor, at this number, at 3.5, so like 2 possessions, I think they cover this. So give me UCLA minus 3.5. I think they keep rolling. Like I said, that does conclude the games, though. 4 games, short slate. I will try and get back to being consistent. I've been awful with these. My work schedule's been chaotic. Try and get back consistent. Hopefully I have a video Friday. Hopefully I have a video for Saturday, so on and so forth. As always, you can get all my official plays at goldboys.com. If you have any problem, don't want to hurt a gambler. Thank you, guys.